Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, Deku, him and everybody went through quite a bit of things. Jiro was injured whenever they fought against a deceiver. The deceiver jumped the fence, got shot by Ochako, showed intellect by dodging a headshot, and sat outside. The moment it saw Deku and two of the people on the roof, it went in for the attack. However, they set off a dust explosion, it was impaled on a fountain, and then it was attacked by Jiro, Momo, and a few other people. They used Molotovs to hold it back, Jiro was injured, and Deku came running out with a grenade. It was blown up and was still left alive. Even after being hit with Molotovs, bullets, and a grenade, this thing was still breathing, still living. But it was in very bad condition. All of its limbs were blown off, and it tried to use the tendrils in its eyes that it's connected to try to attack and take Izuku. It tried to do what it could with him, but Deku killed it with a knife after hearing it talk about the hive. And that was bad. Really, really bad. Now, Izuku, he heard this thing mention the hive, and that is only one of the concerns right now. After the ground shook, there was a problem. They don't know what that was, but clearly it's bad. It could have been a natural earthquake, but Deku, after hearing about this quote unquote hive, is not too sure. He thought that these things were just some mindless monsters running around, mimicking human voices, but this may have just proven otherwise. And while that was happening on the mainland, there was close by the ocean. Somebody just got to the mainland. Melissa Shield has spent 2 weeks at sea, and she hit land. And she had to go running, especially after the water started to retreat. Now, with that being said, it has been a month and a half since that day, and so far, things have been a little bit quiet. Nothing bad has happened since. Deku and everybody are preparing, however. Winter. It is coming. And the moment it strikes, they are in trouble. They could get snowed in, their crops could die, and they may not be able to leave the house. They won't be able to use cars. They have to go on foot. They have to wear layered clothes. And they have to make sure that they don't freeze to death. All these things and more. And that is just them trying to get through it for months at a time. They have been trying to work hard, stockpiling food, and some people, they got introduced to gut walking. So yeah, that's a very gross thing they've learned about. Now, they have been trying to do their best to get resources and gather more and more supplies. And it has been treacherous. Hatsume needs propane for her forge to properly function and work, and getting that has been somewhat easy, a hit and a miss. As for a few other things, such as sand, they can get that from the beach. They can get that anywhere. And Hatsume has also worked on trying to make gunpowder. However, she's not too sure how useful gunpowder might be, especially since she's making arrowheads and proper spears. So yeah, she has a full-on system going now. And that is just one thing. Making a crossbow is so intricate, and it will require a lot of casting just to do properly, a lot of cutting, and a lot of tools she does not have. And that is a problem. Those tools take up energy, and energy they don't have a lot of. And the idea so far has been, well, hit and a miss. They were able to get a map of the city, thanks to gut walking and heading to a place like the public library. They found an area, and they began to work on a lot. They've also tried to map out the city in their own way. They set up a series of papers and taped them together, and then begin the process of actually drawing on them what they could from the maps they've seen. And it has become quite a project, an undertaking, if you will. They know about highways that have either fallen over or even tunnels that have collapsed. They've discovered more about the city, and the further in they go, the more carnage they have discovered. Now, Deku currently has a lot running through his mind. The team is hard at work today, and Izuku, he does sit there outside, right now him with a rifle, and thinking about a lot, though it does run through his mind. Currently, him staring at a sketch of the deceiver, and it's so vivid in his mind. The tendrils and the words, everything. It feels like it was just yesterday. It's so weird. But the ground, though, the ground's the weirdest part. And Deku, he does think about it. The timing of the earthquake, everything, it just seems a little worrisome. And currently Deku's turned his head. Bakugo walking outside and going to sit down. And Deku, he has a turn. Still doing recovery? I'm doing better. Listen, I'm up and walking. But still, hurts a little to move. That's about it. Might have been some nerve damage, but I'll live. Yeah. So how you been? Busy. Very busy. Who's on watch after you? Um, not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Kendo. Oh, it's her, huh? Need something? I was gonna ask if you wanted to come with me. Where? The city. There's a place further in, and I know it's a bit of a ways away outside of our usual range, but it could be useful. Hatsume needs more sand, and heading there is a bit difficult. I know Nejire talked about going to the beach. She says it's nice. Not a lot of infected around that area. Really? Yeah. She went there to check it out, gather some sand, and do what she could. Though, I don't think hauling one 5-gallon bucket is a nice trade off for just one person going, especially all that way. She says that she's fine, but I just think it's a lot of walking for one person. You're right about that, but as long as she stays on the outskirts around, she's okay. At least until she gets to the water. That's true. That's very true. But still, we gotta figure a few things out. Find out what to do there. I mean, we haven't really talked about finding the other groups that are in there. We haven't, have we? What about heading to the safe zones? I'm still saying that those are dangerous. I couldn't even get to the closest one. Yeah. And we still gotta deal with the crazies if we do run into them. That's what we're calling them. Bakugo, I don't know what to call them. Listen, the guy who abducted me said they were unhinged. As far as I know, we can't talk to them or trade with them. And they were in the direction of the fucking fires, alright? Though breaking some shit does sound fun. Where are you and what happened to the real Izuku? Deku turning his head. And Bakugo, his smile does go to somewhat fade a little. Since he probably shouldn't have just said that. You alright? I'm fine. Just got a lot in my head. Want to talk about something? We need to talk about a lot of things actually, but we need to head out. Or, well, I guess you need to head out, right? Every day that happens to pass, it's gonna get worse. Right. Um, you guys got the traps in the forest? We'll check them. see what we can find. Though, no promises. But if I do find a deer, that might be good. If I find something. It's been a while since I've actually had like a beef stew. I don't know. Just something with actual meat in it. Proper meat. It does sound really good. Oh my god. Don't get me started. There's tons of things I want to make. Though, if we do find any actual animals, how do you think that's all going to go? I'm not sure. We'd have to keep them around before we get sustained, or I guess this place properly running? Right, but I don't think they'd be free range. They're good looking around. And going to Express. I mean, the land's big enough. They could just build something out there. Maybe even a barn. Hmm. That does have problems. Though about the next city over? Not sure, not sure. Though it could be troublesome. Yeah, that is true. But what about the rural farmland? That's like at least 2 hours away, Bakugo. Not really too sure about that. You're not sure or you don't want to go? Both. Both. Yeah, listen. I have a theory, and I don't want to test it out yet. Mind sharing? Bakugo, might as well get everyone out here. I'm gonna stand up. And I'm gonna tell Bakugo. He'll tell all of them together. He's been thinking on this information, but it's just been fucking with his head. Though, he's gonna go grab the scotch. Now, Bakugo, he's not happy about that. And currently, everybody, they do go together. Right now, Hatsume, annoyed, being pulled away from her workshop, since she was working on something. And it, right now, is not good, because it's cooling in that cast iron skillet. Now, Deku, whenever everybody they are here, he does go to Express. Currently, him holding up the bottle and talking about it. Okay, so he's gonna tell them all something that he heard, and he's not sure if they'll like it or not. It's gonna suck. And it might also explain something that they're all probably curious about. Now, Deku's gonna look around. They're all here. Right. Okay. So what is it? Todoroki gonna step forwards and asking him if this is about the winter. No. We have stuff properly set aside. Enough wood, enough food. We should be okay. Though, we all might have to skip a meal or two every now and again. Yeah, we know about that. I'm just saying, we could scavenge. I mean, zombies will be freezing up, right? We'd head further into the city. Everyone turning to look at Nejire. And Izuku would go to Express. That's not really the problem. The problem is people during the winter. That could be their biggest threat. I mean, whenever everything does freeze over, he wants to try heading back to that shop they messed up at. Or the store that's not the point. Right now, his news is bigger than anything like that. He's pretty sure that the hive, it does exist. Some of them kind of confused. And Deku, he'd start from the beginning. Right, right. Um, the deceiver told me it said something. It said it had to return home to the hive, I think. It was all kind of crazy. I think that there's something inside the city controlling the zombies. Have you guys ever heard of a hive mind? Now, Everybody, they do have the register in their minds. And there actually is Momo. The moment that went through her mind, she immediately realized one thing. If there's something controlling the zombies, there's something to kill. Something making them move and tick. And that means that these zombies are. Holy fuck. Yeah. Wait, so you're saying that there's a hive mind? Yeah. And you knew about this for 3 weeks. About a month. Give or take almost two. You. 6 weeks. You knew about this for 6 weeks? And you did not tell anybody? Bakugo, I didn't know if it was just something rambles, alright? Listen, I get it sounds bad, but we don't know if it's real, okay? That thing speaks, and it talked random shit, okay? We don't have enough evidence to say whether or not it's real. And I didn't want to just spook you guys off of nothing, okay? We've all been skittish since everything. I just didn't want to take that risk. That's not yours to decide. Last time I checked, you're not in charge, and neither are you. Deku turned to Bakugo. And Bakugo, he does somewhat get a bit on the back foot. A little bit more surprised. This isn't the same Deku. And that is made quite apparent. And Izuku does begin to express. After everything they've both experienced, they can't honestly say what's real and what's not. If there is a hive, they've got to avoid the center. Find out where the center is, and fuck right off. It's that simple. Listen, if they're gonna go scavenging, they need to hurry. It's gonna be dark in a few hours. And if they're gonna take one of the cars, take them. If they're gonna go on foot, they better start running. He's gotta go back to watch. But yeah, I'm gonna turn and take a sip of his drink. Slamming down the cup, talking about it. That's a bit of information. Currently, him going to get outside. And whenever Bakugo does see Deku walk out there, Ochako acts as a turn. Right now, her going to follow Deku outside as he does get a turn to her expressing. Right now, him gonna step up, bringing his hand up. Hey, move. No, I said move. Listen, I appreciate that you're getting a bit more of a backbone, but you need to talk to him. No. Okay, you're gonna cut that shit out right now. Listen, I'm worried. Worried about what? He's hiding stuff from us. What else does he know? Do you believe him? I don't. I don't know what to believe. Okay, all right. Listen, Ochako. I know him. He's not like this. He wouldn't keep something this big. Not unless he believes it. Can't you think for yourself? Bakugo gonna turn back, and Ochako does a step away from him, going to express. She heard about him, how he was before UA. And honestly, she's not sure if he trusts him. I mean, she doesn't trust him either. Izuku, being in the same house as him, doesn't do him any good. Especially since he told him to take a swan dive once, didn't he? And Bakugo, he does just stand there. And everyone, they do hear that. And that is a little messed up. Though, yeah. He is the type of guy who was a bit of a hot shot. So it does make a little bit of sense. And Ochako, she's gonna walk outside. Currently, her going somewhat shiver because of the cold. And there actually is Deku, who is currently sitting there with a gun by his side and a notebook by his left. And right now, Ochako just to sit down. Her going to ask him if he's okay. Hmm? Yeah, no. Just been thinking on that for a few weeks. Are you sure it's real? I don't know. That's the thing. The best way to test out the theory is to kill another deceiver. See if it says the same thing. But I just don't get it. If it's intelligent, why are all the zombies so discoordinated? Or just, I don't know. I'm gonna throw up his hand and waving it over to the fence. Mindless. I don't know. It does bring up a bit of a question, doesn't it? Really does. Honestly, I think I might need to go out. Get some air. You're already outside. I meant from this place. The beach doesn't sound like a bad idea. Honestly. I haven't been there forever. Feels like what? Never mind. You can talk to me, Izuku. I I know. I just this is a new thing for me, Ochako. I know. We've we've been through this. No, Ochako. I don't think you understand. I couldn't really rely on anyone. No friends, no dad. He's overseas somewhere and I don't even know if he's dead. I don't know if he's turned or surviving, or if he's trying to get back home. I just, I don't know. My mom, my, my mom is still foggy in my head. And I remember whenever I was younger, the day I found out I thought I was quirkless, she held me and apologized. I asked her if I could be a hero. She basically told me no. But you're not quirkless. Yeah, I'm not quirkless because I got a quirk from All Might. Her a bit confused. Huh? That's a long story. I'm willing to sit here and tell you, but I want to go back to the beach because it reminds me of All Might. And Nedre said it was cleaned. Funny enough, some of that junk could have been useful. I think there was even a fridge there. An old truck? Hmm, right. The tires can make some good armor. Maybe. Maybe. But do you really want to go? Sort of, yeah. We need sand, right? Yeah, yeah. Um, Nedre and Tokage were talking about heading out. Maybe using the car instead of her just walking. It'd be a lot safer, a lot easier. Right. Maybe we can head to a shop nearby. I can check something out. What do you mean? It's just never mind. It's close by the mall though. Her turning her head. As Izuku does a stand up, and she will go to sit up. Her going to tell him that she is willing to stay here, take over his watch. You don't have to do that. I mean, I can just no. Let me. Just I gotta think about a few of the things you said, anyways. Being on a watch does clear my head. You sure? Yeah. Though I will make you pay for it. Deku gonna lean down, and currently Ochako and him, they do get a kiss. Him pulling away, talking about how about they spend some time together later. Payment accepted. Her face gonna turn a little bit red as Deku does stand up, quickly making his way up the stairs. As Ochako, she does actually gonna move down. Her taking Deku's spot and turning to the gun. Her bringing her hand out and grabbing onto it, since she does feel a lot safer knowing that Cold Steel's with her, in her hand. Now, Izuku, he does try to find Nejire and Tokage, and the two, they were getting a few more things planned out, a few more things put together, and ready. And that is where the two, they were about to leave. And Izuku, he does find them on their way out. Run out him asking if they do need somebody else to help them out. And the two, they're not gonna lie. They were told to fill up a few buckets. I mean, 2 shovels, 10 buckets, that's 5 each. But I mean, 3 shovels, 10 buckets, not too long. They won't be out there for very long. That's what, at least 50 gallons of sand? Yeah, that'll definitely help them out. And the 3, they do to head off, after getting a 3rd shovel loaded up into the car. Now, Izuku does sit in the back seat, as Rena Tokage, she is in the driver's seat and Nejire does gonna bring her hand up. Her, right now, gonna put a CD into the actual radio. And she does get a turn, asking if either of the two are ready for hearing one of the songs she found. She actually just kinda like it. Sure, whatever. That being with the car, it does get a head out. And Ochako, she does sit there, watching it drive away, a little concerned. Izuku's been on it a few times since his unfortunate encounter, though he's a little bit more on guard, a little bit more hostile. She liked Izuku because he was, well, there's a number of reasons that she likes him, but she can rely on him. But he is a little, maybe Bakugo is right, but no, don't let him get to you. Bakugo doesn't know what he's talking about. Izuku's fine. He's okay. He just needs to deal with a few things. He's getting better. Though, maybe, right. Heading home. She lives in a bit of a cheaper spot, but oh God, it's so far away. Okay. Maybe, yeah, no. Ew, not gut walking. That going through her mind. She has an idea for how to head home. But it does sound very, very gross. Now, currently the car, it is driving. And Deku, Nejire, and Tokage are heading out to the beach. And there currently is somebody else. They have a lot going through their mind. Melissa is concerned about the supplies she brought to the mainland. She's got a few things. But I mean, actually getting somewhere safe for the winter, that's a bit of a problem. Finding somewhere to stay safe and camp, it's another problem. Finding food, she's got that covered. Her supplies are good. Though, the city, that's where things are bad. With that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.